Start of session 1. The crew has just combat jumped off the planet. The Morning Star seems to be running in good condition, but without a full rundown, they do not know the full capabilities of the ship. Conflux is at the helm. The rest of the crew is sitting around the bridge, having just lost comms with what they've called home for the last 6 months.
Gallus, what the fuck was that?
You got as good an idea as I do.
Where the fuck were planetary defenses?
There, but not fast enough. Somebody's
There's
found
10
a way.
fleets around that fucking planet.
We found a way around before. The ship is here. No defense is ever perfect. There's always a way through.
The fuck am I supposed to do with a ship full of cadets?
Fly. Find us somewhere to go.
Where? I don't have an engineer. I don't have a medic. Hell, I don't even have a fucking soldier. You're self-excluded.
That's very appreciative of you. I may be up in my ears, but
I've got an old legion and 3 cadets so green that their ears are still wet.
So I'm assuming we're on chairs and bridge. I'm going to implement the fancy spinny chair.
We're all on bridge?
Yeah, sweetheart.
So I will, I'll spin around to these two, and I'll kind of stand up and look at you guys and go, well, we were ready for your advanced selection ceremony, so I guess it's about time. What notable skills did y'all put on paper?
Survived a nuclear holocaust.
Well, I guess we all get that one.
I'm probably the closest thing to an engineer on the ship at the moment.
Well, looks like
I recognize you. Who are you?
Asher.
Asher? You're Azazel's fucking kid, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
You just got one.
Guys, I gotta spoil a fucking rich kid.
Like that, too.
You're talking about my wife. I love you, sweetie. I'm not your dad. I wish I knew where the fuck he was, but I gotta take a minute. I'm gonna walk off bridge.
I would say I'm probably going to be having just sat there in shock and everything, but the minute I see him walk off, I'm going to follow after him.
You have one other cadet on board. He is he's out cold.
What station am I sitting at?
You guys just found a chair and sat down.
I'm going to find the engineering station.
I'm going to pick up sleeping friend here and huck him down to medbay.
Not so much sleeping. He's got injuries.
Well, that sucks.
You may roll perception.
I would maybe leave it rolling because we didn't.
Mm-hmm. Roll. You're untrained and everything. That's minus 2.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
18.
You find it pretty quick. State-of-the-art station. All the fancy bells and whistles.
Start doing system checks.
Seeing Gallus walk out with the unconscious cadet. Now that we're alone in the room, I'm going to go see if I can get my wife to take a look at him. She hung out with her aunt a lot.
I had followed you out there and everything, so I'm thinking I would have.
You?
Yeah, so the minute I see, like, my brain's going to click and I'm just going to go to medbay with you. With him, so.
How do you look stature-wise?
Huh?
How do you look stature-wise?
Probably, like, average to a little short on the Dwight-Bar scale and everything, so. I'm leaving you to carry it. You're going to got a hold of it.
I'm going to hold this body out to you.
Yeah, no.
No? Fine.
Follow me.
Fine. So we'll hook him down to medbay. In a quick pace. You'll catch up if you can.
Yes.
Walk back on bridge.
Asher is sitting at what you can assume is the engineering console, bleeding.
Rich kid, why don't you get on the med bay so you don't bleed to death?
How do I feel?
It hurts, but it's not horrible. You do have a chunk of tar mat sticking out of your arm. Definitely hurts to move.
Go to med bay.
Walking over, gonna take a seat. Pulling up Black Nebula files, was there a listed off-world site?
The database on the ship hasn't been populated yet.
Slip drive up and going?
Your engineer hasn't told you.
General comms. Rich kid. Once you're done getting patched up in medbay, find out if my slip drive's online.
So I take it we're in med bay.
You can roll a systems check.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you're in med bay.
I'm probably just kind of go on autopilot, like have him lay the guy down on the table and start doing preliminary checks and everything.
You can go ahead and roll medicine.
12 on operations.
Roll on operations. You've got some drives, some engines on this ship, and controls you've never seen before.
14?
The unconscious guy has a pretty good goose egg.
Mhm.
With your roll, you can rightly assume probably a concussion.
Okay. Generally I'm gonna, assess the rest of his body too and everything, make sure he doesn't have any like major wound or anything other than just having been knocked out.
With your roll, you're not finding any broken bones or anything out of place necessarily, but as you're finished checking him, Asher walks in the room.
I'll look to you and just be like, we just need to set him somewhere, keep an eye on him. He probably is concussed.
You can take a nap.
Yeah. And then I'm going to look to you and roll again for just assessing him.
I'm going
Pretty much
to,
as he walks in.
I'm going to strap him into the table so he's got nowhere to go, and I'm going to walk off.
Damn, whatever you got, I can fix right away. 17.
He's got a chunk of shrapnel from tarmac sticking out of his arm. You know that if you pull it, it's going to start bleeding pretty quick unless
As
you...
to say, I am going to guide him to, I presume, other than the table, there's at least somewhere else for him to sit.
Yeah.
And everything, I'm going to guide him to sit down and run around getting, something for him to set his arm up on if there's no armrest and everything, get ready to prep it.
Where's Strabble on?
Here.
right in the meat of your arm.
And I'm just going to be autopilot kind of moving. So,
How long does that take you?
By the time she pulls it out, cleans it up, and stitches it up, you're there for half an hour.
I'm going to make my way back to bridge. And I'm going to see if I can pull any of the old station points as far as forward operating areas and things like that.
For
Missions that we deployed on around.
for Prometheus.
See if there's any active readings or anything like that. Whether it was just a home station area or if some of the outlying areas might still have something available.
Gallus comes back on bridge to her to miss.
Are you gonna live?
Me? One war couldn't put me down, the second one's no different.
I meant the one you carried back there.
Nah. You just need a nap.
Doesn't seem that anything's loaded in the computer systems. I've got no maps or navigation.
Guess we're gonna have to figure it out.
Not exactly what I figured for my first day as a line officer.
Looks like you got a speedy promotion.
And probably not one that I was looking for.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, well.
Sometimes you gotta do his duty calls, my friend.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Everybody talks about Adriel as being, this captain among captains, and I was looking forward to getting to learn from him, and now I've got the CEO's kid and Adriel's daughter, and Legion who's old enough to be my grandfather. So,
This grandpa still gets around, don't worry.
yeah, well, we need to find a planet to sit down because
Yeah, preferable.
we're broadcasting Prometheus colors, and the last thing I want to do is get blown away in space.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to... I want to check and make sure the gunnery stations are online. As far as...
Sidewalk gunnery.
We have something. Check on the point defense system too while I'm at it. Oh, yeah, that's about right for the night. Okay. That's the exact order I had them laid out here on, too.
Shit.
Yeah.
What were you trying to do again?
Make sure, where you can't get blown out of space. So,
Well, I wasn't.
still have a workstation. Still have a workstation.
So you need to hurry.
So it's a 9.
You're
Exactly.
scanning
And
over the
everything.
controls
Everywhere slap on back, they
for
were
the
good to go.
ship's guns, as well as missiles. And the
It takes 30
launch
minutes
and
Yeah.
aiming seems
I
to be
know, we're
pretty on
probably
par,
rushing for
but
time,
there's extra controls here that you don't rightly have a clue what they do.
Getting kids and their technology. I'm gonna grumpy old man storm off, and I'm gonna do a
That trademark. Grumpy old man.
grumpy old man storm off. We're gonna do a inventory of supplies. Figure out how quickly we need to find this damn planet.
You've got him done, stitched up.
I will say, during the whole process, I won't say much, but I will have finally been like, I did not catch your name, I'm sorry.
Heading back to the bridge with my R&D prepared for the moment. I'll sling back to the bridge.
I'll be cleaning
chance
up
that I pass in.
everything and returning my focus and everything onto patient A.
You're not moving fast enough.
Give me factory. Like I said, system checks.
Go for it.
12.
You're not up to speed exactly on what Prometheus has been working on, and you certainly weren't part of this project. You're seeing readings and schematics for systems you only thought were theoretical.
What systems?
You don't get an answer to that yet. It pertains to gunnery and navigation/engines and your power.
Cool.
How big's the ship?
The ship bridge accommodates 6. Rather large engineering bay. You have quarters for 32 troops. So the ship bridge will hold about 6. You have a galley, you have a barracks that will hold about 32 troops. You have 2 fighter bays, a cargo area, and it is a thin, sleek design. What you can tell of it is it's using a stealth technology that refracts radar. Makes it a small cross section.
Do I get any reads on the engines from here?
On the what?
Do I get any readings from the engines?
Only that they're operating at 90% efficiency.
Slip drive? Other drives?
Everything seems to be online.
Everything's currently working, sir.
all hands brace for slip drive. Ladies and gentlemen, with Prometheus having fallen, I'm assuming that our enemies know that we're in system. Look, I'm not Adriel. I'm not Mars. I'm not, not even the captain of the ship. I'm going to engage slip drive, and we will be headed into unknown space. My hope is to put down on the first planet that we find and take most of the systems offline until we're able to assess the situation or help arrives. We're on our own. Cadets, you passed training, so welcome to your first day at Prometheus. By the power vested in me as the voice of this ship, I'm granting everybody a commandant status. You are now the heads of your own departments, whatever department that may be. Countdown on slip drive. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, let's see if I can get an update on the astrological readings. If you'll give me a hand on that.
Yeah, I'll make my way back.
I'm also going to assist on that one. 14.
12. I get no bonus from either one of them. I have 16.
You're well beyond the border of unknown space. The closest system you see is 4 light years out.
Plotting a course.
Go ahead and roll your nav.
16.
Plotting the course is the easy part. Works just like all the others. You throttle it up. You are typically used to wormhole travel. This ship is equipped with a warp-like drive, and you have warp 1 through 9.9 at your availability.
I'm going to take sublights. I don't need to fly through a planet. I'll wait until I know that the ship's in working order before I give anything a go.
It'll take you 3 days to get there.
Big heavy clunking of the mag boots.
Going to engineering.
I'm checking cargo storage and see if we still have any of the other 2 fighters or transports on board.
Okay.
I kind of want to know. I'm just going to do general inventory. We've got to work with.
Layla, what are you doing?
I was going to say, we're still doing the whole jump and everything right now.
You're out of slip drive.
We're out of the slip drive? Okay. Probably from, I'd say, patient still stable and everything.
Yeah.
Say I probably won't want to leave him or anything unless I'm absolutely needed.
Okay. Anything you're doing other than just standing over a patient staring?
As I would have cleaned up from taking care of my cousin and everything, I would have probably been kind of low-key doing an inventory, acquainting myself with the med bay.
Okay.
So, and keeping an ear out for whatever's going on.
Big folks.
Yeah.
You know that, do you announce that over comms? Where you're at? Okay. Asher, you make it to med bay. Or, engineering.
Doing checks, taking inventory what I got.
You look around engineering, and you know that engineering was built for more than just one guy. It's big.
What I have to do.
There are supply racks, tools.
Is there a log?
What kind of log are you looking for?
Spare parts? Extra supplies?
There is
What
an
the
inventory
engine
if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. A how-to manual on the new
Okay.
systems?
There is a maintenance manual for the engines.
I'm gonna flip through it. What kind of engines do we have?
Your slip drive is more like a slipstream. I don't know if you've ever seen Andromeda. So it's good for short bursts and is all pivotal on, I don't know really how to explain it.
Let's go to the next drive.
More like, I know you all have played Mass Effect.
Nope.
Wow, really?
I definitely have.
So you know how Mass Effect's FTL works?
Yes.
That's what this is.
Oh, shit.
I didn't want to blatantly take anything off Star Trek, but I mean, there's many different theories out there for FTL, and I tend to gravitate towards Mass Effect's FTL a little bit better.
That's an effective one. And as far as I actually did a breakdown in the series, so if you've been through it, you can have an idea how the ship flew.
Just to keep things simple, you use an element 0 core.
How's that?
So the FTL core, just to take a little bit offline here, FTL drive cores work by exposing element 0 to electric currents, creating a mass effect field. It reduces the mass of an object, such as a starship, to a point where velocity is faster than the speed of light are possible. With a mass effect drive, roughly a dozen light years can be traversed during the course of a day's cruise without bending space-time and causing time dilation.
Okay.
And I'll put that in channel so you can refer to it.
It's essentially effective, and it's not as unstable as nuclear or fission.
No.
Lower energy output and easier for more sustained. You got to keep in mind here, this was built for, as they said, cloak and dagger and clandestine operation.
It's a CPM.
Pretty much.
Not quite. It's just about as close as Prometheus has gotten.
We'll be there by the time we're done. We got Rich Boy's Bank to make it a little easier. This should be first order number 1.
The slipstream drive worked by using the ship's artificial gravity generators to reduce the ship's effective mass to a few nanograms. It would then rip a hole into normal space-time, entering the slipstream, and then grapple onto strings in the slipstream, decoupling from one and grabbing onto another, or exiting when arriving at the destination point.
It's Spider-Man in space.
Yep, kind of. But
So you have a slipstream.
slipstream is dangerous. You don't know the consequences of repeatedly ripping holes in space and time.
Or where you're going to come out.
It is very random. Basically, you point the ship in a certain direction, and it comes out randomly at the other.
Well, and you hope that nothing goes wrong in between, because getting ripped out of one of those kind of, you just aren't coming out. Or you are in pieces. It's one of those two.
Once I set a course for the system, I'm going to look over at Gallus,
I'm not on bridge.
realize that he's not on bridge.
You heard big clunky.
All of this being done from the helm seat, I'm gonna walk over and take a second and nervously eye the chair in the center of the room. Keeping my distance from it. I'm just kind of going to wander around bridge, going to familiarize myself with where everything's at, because my assumption right now is that I'm running every station.
Currently, yes.
And there's only one place on the ship that you can do that from.
Pretty much.
And I was supposed to be the new third string officer for the Knicks, not the captain of the fastest ship in the fleet. I'm gonna psychologically digest the fact that everyone I know and care about, besides my wife, is dead, and that I'm now in charge of, foreseeably, the execution of Black Nebula's mission.
That's interesting. Would I know anything about that?
Black Nebula?
I mean, I know what I'm here for.
Nope. Okay. Black Nebula was a secret even to some of the higher ranks in Prometheus.
So how do we look on supply inventory? Do we still have any of the extra shuttles? We got food.
So the two fighter bays are on opposite sides of the ship. I'm assuming you take your time to look at both. Both fighter bays have full complement. You see on the ship's manifest one for Dart and one for Stinger. Two black small stealth ships.
they have any recent mission logs?
Brand new off the assembly floor.
Fantastic. Alright, and yeah, I mean, next will be
They don't even have any test logs.
food and storage, and then after that, we'll be checking to see if there's an armory on board.
Okay.
Kind of want to make sure the general up and up as far as the physical side of the ship is okay. I mean, it did. I'm assuming we didn't make it out 100% unscathed, and I want to find out where. I doubt they were expecting to launch the ship into deep space.
As I have gone through the med bay and everything, is it pretty well stocked from what I can tell?
Fully stocked.
Fully stocked? Alright. Another question. Do we have any kind of data pad on us or anything yet?
You were in Class A's on the
Think
bar.
so. Okay. After I assure that that my patient's gonna be still stable and good and everything, I'll probably leave medbay and head back up to Seacon.
So I think he literally just needs a nap.
Yeah.
Just a long one.
I also preferably wanted to see if I can also get like video into the medbay and everything.
There's a full set of monitoring equipment, and there are cameras. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure if I got up to bridge, I could still keep an eye on him. In essence.
Hey,
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm just gonna walk over and just like hug you. Lay my head on your chest, be like,
Yeah, I know.
what the hell do we even do?
We're gonna do what we have to do. We're gonna survive. I mean, come on. Too far out. In space. Giant ship. What's not to love? Where's your sense of adventure? Laying on a tarmac glowing.
I can't even comprehend adventure right now.
Good. Well, then you're normal.
So
You know what? Come here. Have a seat.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna stay busy.
Okay.
This is the operations console. It handles our torpedoes, missiles, armaments, and
The more you talk, the more my hands go away. And
sensors and basic functions of the ship. Yeah, no. Put your hands back on the console. I said put your hands back on the console.
this shit makes me nervous.
Put your hands on the... Well, it makes me nervous, too, because right now I don't have a co-pilot, so put your hands on the console.
Hands are on the console.
So, the buttons on the left control ship long-range ballistic weapons. The buttons on the right control systems and sensors. Your bottom display panel measures shields and critical systems. And these three buttons shift between our fuel lines and decompression. Got it?
I believe so.
Awesome. I'm going to need you to raise a yellow alert. Nope. That is escape pods.
Shit, sorry.
We are not venting escape pods.
Shit, sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're fine. You're fine.
Do you want me to try again?
So, again, the one's on, and you just fired a torpedo.
Shit.
I
I told you this crap makes me nervous. I'm sorry.
Okay, just
Yeah.
up from the console.
Got any rope perception as well?
Hands up, back away from the console.
6.
You know what? Maybe you will do better over here. Why don't you come over and have a seat?
you hear the familiar ejection of a torpedo tube.
You are now going to have a quickly approaching Legion. As fast as I can possibly move.
Let's have a seat in Gaius' chair.
Okay.
This is weaponry. It has
Oh, God.
It has 8 buttons. These buttons over here handle your point defense systems. You have your port, starboard, lateral, and aft point defense. This side you have your main energy weapon, your 2 secondary weapons, and you have, I'm not exactly sure what this button is. Don't push that button.
That makes me nervous.
So, why don't you go ahead and bring point defense systems online?
There is now a large shadow looming over your shoulders.
Well, whenever he enters the room, because I imagined it's up.
Yeah.
that TM angry man. Angry old man.
I intentionally keep my heavy metal boots.
When the door flies open, it's fine. She's not going to be our operations officer.
You're in my chair.
See if you can. You know what? Why don't you work with her on gunnery? Because outside of knowing what the buttons do, pretty much what I got. Let's see if you can make things blow up. Gonna step away.
I mean, you maybe
Gaius?
know I can.
Well, you can make things. Keep your ferret in check.
Is the assist roll on the Zoom?
10?
See how that goes. I'm gonna leave again.
Gaius, I told you to help her. Not to arm the main weapon and fire it at the planet we're approaching.
Listen, it's an effective engagement strategy, alright?
Oh my god. This is not the war, Gaius.
Gallus, my dear friend. Gallus. We are not fighting Nephilim.
It's
okay.
There are no Nephilim soldiers around.
There's one in the ship.
He's not a soldier. He's a cadet.
Shouldn't be.
And I don't think that there should be instant replay in football, but there is. So, Gallus, will you work with her on gunnery?
Sure.
Without attacking whatever planet we're headed to. God, I hope it's not happening.
Do we even know what we've got on this ship yet?
We haven't got a clue.
That's what I was doing when you launched weaponry.
I am sorry, I was following
Let's
his...
launch a torpedo. Oh, by the way, now we're going to fire the main laser.
It works.
Okay, I'm going to leave you to the gunnery station. And I'm going to go make sure that little Debbie is okay in engineering.
Is Asher?
Yeah, it's Asher whenever we're with your family. It's little Debbie whenever I'm around the water cooler with the guys. I can tell you the number of times I've seen people reassigned from projects because he thinks he understands engineering.
Oh. You're gonna get a nod. I like you.
I mean, no offense, sir. I am just
Oh, fuck, I can't.
I was like, the minute, anytime your character looks at me, I'm gonna just be like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, don't hurt me. It's gonna be like the aura coming off of my body.
I'm gonna walk over and, there's a shark in the room, walk around it a couple of times. Finally sat down, hands on the armrest. Asher, what's wrong with my ship?
My New York comms button.
You got terminals all around you.
Have I found anything wrong with the ship yet?
No, not yet.
At the moment, engine and drives are running at 90%.
Good. Did we take any damage on the way out?
Not that I'm finding so far.
Okay.
Find anything.
Triage engineering, get back to me.
Was there anything that I found
That's what I'm doing.
looking around?
No, the inside of the ship looks great.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry about your dad.
Go back to trying to find a problem.
Real quick, I'm imagining that the whole time I've been up messing around on the bridge and stuff, I'm keeping an eye on whatever monitor I can see that shows the med bay. Nothing's changed with my patient. He's still just out cold there.
You may roll a perception for where the mid station is.
Do I see a sleeping Nephilim in the med bay?
Ideally, what is...
I won't mess with him while he's not here.
Just awareness? Ideally? Okay. Alright. I'm just wearing that for future reference. 7.
There are a lot of monitors and a lot of consoles, and you're having a hard time pinning down which is which.
Then I will have, actively taken a pause to try to search out and be like, excuse me, Dallas, I just want to check on the patient real quick.
He's fine.
I'm still going to be looking to...
You get out of your chair and go look around.
Yeah. It's actually his chair, so I will let him have his chair back.
I would say not while your butt's in it.
Is there a well-sized, is it a good-sized chair?
Yeah, it's big enough.
So I'm gonna make it bigger.
I have this image of,
Ultimately, I'll let you go about your way.
and I just am like, just a moment, I just need to... So, do I need to roll again, or do I find one? And,
Give me a roll again.
God damn, I don't find shit.
I roll again to find if anything wrong with the ship.
I actually want to, knowing that there are recording systems on the ship, I want to see if there is any outbound visuals from when we had left.
You go digging?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are you looking for? Want to take off?
Primarily, yeah, probably. Looking to see any identifying marks on any of the ships we went past. Up to my point, I don't know who the hell just bombed our planet.
So, the jump drive, think of it as instant warp 9 and then
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, it's there, but to my knowledge, the ship was fired up before takeoff.
yeah.
We were sitting on the tarmac, passing strafes and things like that, so...
At the point of takeoff, you notice what was there wasn't. Left everything behind in quite the hurry and destructive force of your jump drive.
Okay. I had to double check just to make sure.
17.
You're not finding anything actually wrong with the main systems of the ship. Everything looks good to go. You're not seeing any decompression alarms or anything like that. So, pretty sure that the ship is mostly in tip-top shape, other than maybe scratch paint that without a spacewalk you're not going to know.
Comms to bridge. Ship's running at almost 100%.
Cool.
There's nothing I can do at this point.
Come to bridge. You're going to take your first officer's lesson.
Actually, a spacewalk doesn't sound like too bad of an idea.
Let's put the ship down and look at it, and I'll go outside walking around.
Oh, where's the fun in that?
I will say that after I realize I cannot find the screen for my patient, I probably will just run off to medbay to physically just go in the room and check.
You see her go scurrying out of the room.
I figured it was only a matter of time before she broke down. Nuclear war on your family and everything you know tends to do that to people.
There's also a patient in medbay.
Where's the nearest, where is the furthest array, communications array that I can reach with the ship sensors?
You may roll a systems check.
11.
You're not detecting any carrier waves from any transmission beacons.
Can I roll an astronomy check to see if I would know of the nearest Corp communication satellite based on where we're at? I mean, it'll take a while for the carrier. It will take a while for the message to arrive, but...
So I'm going to start just using grids.
That's fine.
You're west in the grid from system. The nearest known communications array.
I want the furthest one away that I know where it's at.
The closest one is over 10 grid squares away.
Okay.
Which is right about the distance that you would lose it.
Okay, but I can send the transmission.
You're not entirely sure it will make it.
Okay.
You're right at its limit. So there's no guarantee that it will go through.
I'm going to wait for my engineer to make it on the bridge. Has Asher managed bridge? Asher, do me a favor. Amplify the communications array. I need to make sure this message makes it.
Best guess is that you would have to boost the power output of the array by quite a bit. And diverting power from other systems can be a dangerous test. Not up too far 100% on how the ship works.
All due respect for that idea. Such thing I had to take power by just a week.
I'm not sure on conflicts, but I understand.
And what is the main structure of the ship?
You're looking at it. My wife, Layla ran off just a little bit ago, and apparently there's a passed out Nephilim in mid-bay, so that's your command structure.
Navigation shows you well beyond the border of known space.
Why are we going on this space?
Quiet on the bridge. Gonna hit setting a transmission. This is Conflicts of the Morning Star with Black Nebula. I am issuing this order. We have mutinied the crew of the Prometheus. All survivors are dead. Black Nebula the ship now belongs to Black Nebula. We killed the captain. We are Twyfar pirates. We raid and attack ships that wander too far outside of known space. I'm headed to a planet to put down because, as it sets, you and my wife are both, very valuable entities. Congratulations, you are now half the Prometheus Corporation and its value. I would imagine a substantial set of which was not held on world. Come here. Have a seat. Buttons on this side control ship systems. The buttons on this side control your long-range torpedoes and weapons. The buttons on the bottom...
Trying to understand. What console am I currently sitting at?
Operations.
This is not my console.
Yeah, I need an operations officer as much as I need an engineer. So, we're just seeing who's got what. Why don't you try to raise a yellow alert?
Careful, I tried that.
Eight.
Ship's lights dim. Red lights come on. Red alert signals.
Close. It's the one next to that. This is the one that you hit if we're, being attacked. So you can shut it off.
11 to shut it off. Yellow alert.
You shut it off. Ship's lighting switches from red to yellow. Calling duty stations.
Good.
I would say right now I probably reach midday. I'm just peeking my head in. Just chill.
Still out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Running
so
back up to bridge.
actually, at what point are we when the ship lights hit red? Where are we?
Where did you go? Following her. Oh, when it hits red, you're 5 steps outside the bed.
Snatching you up inside bed bay and hitting the door lock.
Okay. And then right by the minute the door lock hits, all of a sudden it's yellow. Am I right? But no. So is it like if he picks me up, hop in
Yeah,
the
about
bay?
the time you get
and
in the
then
mid bay, the lights go kind of yellow.
Set you down. Walk off.
I'm gonna start familiarizing myself with this console.
I take it you unlock it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then TM Angry Man. Grumble grumble. You know.
There better be a drink on this ship somewhere.
16 familiarize myself with this console.
So it doesn't take you long with your engineering background. You're able to pick up all what the individual systems are. You don't know exactly how to operate them, per se, but you know what they are and how to pick them.
What system do I know?
You don't know guttering.
I'm gonna start asking tons of questions about the system. And how to operate them.
General wiring.
Take a seat, pull up the schematics on those systems.
So while I'm in that day and everything, since I got forcibly put in there and everything, you know that, I will probably do a little bit more of a thorough double check over patient A and everything. And I would think, am I looking around that day before and everything? I would think I would have found something to the equivalent of, in essence, a baby monitor.
Like I said before, the ship's got a full monitoring setup for the monitor.
Yeah, so I would
You can monitor it from the grid.
Yeah.
So
is there anything portable though that I can carry on my person?
there is a medical tablet.
I will be grabbing a medical tablet and everything and setting that up to, you know, like I said, in essence, a baby monitor on it.
You set it all up and tie in the systems, and you end up with a slew of data, much more than you've seen on Prometheus alone.
Sound. Presume make a roll to try to even figure out what's all coming up on it.
Sure.
These rules are made for a dead person. I'm gonna keep it. I ain't gonna change this. 13.
13. Pretty intuitive system.
Damn. Okay, so I'm just gonna carry this back up to Bridge. Be like, be cool, dude. Follow after the TM angry old man stomping.
Back off and check zombies is hard to follow. I'm about to check food grade supplies. Specifically a nice beverage. So you head to the galley?
Yeah.
I will be heading to Bridge, so I hear his beats. His spirit, I was like, oh damn, he wanted to get that drink now.
Yeah.
You get the galley. Roll a investigation and see what you got.
So that's sort of fall under awareness anymore. Hey, I can find a drink, apparently.
14. So, taking a basic overview of what the galley has to offer, you see the ship is stocked.
With staff shit.
With enough food and rations to supply, you guess, 20 people for a month.
Yeah, is there alcohol beverages?
You have not run across anything.
Ooh, that's even more angry old man. Okay. Last stop for me is hungry.
So you have two of them, actually.
Yes.
One off of each fighter bed.
Okay. So I guess I probably would have stopped there. Check fighter beds.
You are fully stocked on missiles and the ammo used on the ship. Minus one torpedo.
Any smaller personal weapons?
Yes, there's a weapons locker on both sides.
What's it?
A variety from Legion standard sidearms to Vectron pistols and rifles.
You take a basis off of probably what best fits for most people. I mean, ideally, I'm going to handle everybody Legion standard sidearm, but I don't know if that's what everybody's going to be. I guess you guys are Twyfar, aren't you?
In the armory, you find black Nebula armor. No markings.
Yeah.
Nothing to give away who you are. Standardized, different colors, different situations. Well, there's a part for each flight.
Just having a little equipment for everybody and bring it back. I'm going to get changed first, though.
You are on bridge.
So I will immediately be throwing standard armor and equipment, and I will be fully arming myself for all times.
On bridge, I see Complex and Asher at one of the controls.
I would be carrying
Complex is going over ship systems with
So he's at the operations one?
Yep.
I'm going to call over there and be like, be careful, I shot up the missile.
I will be graduating.
Whichever one. I shot up the thing.
Would you have the operations sidearms for myself?
Good question. I don't know how, but I think I did something.
I'm assuming it's the same Legion also. And
long range munitions, torpedoes, and things like that are covered underneath the operations staff.
there are several different weapons designed around the fighter.
There's something there. I will take something for everybody.
Yeah, there are some SMGs that don't seem to have a way to load ammo.
Perfect. We'll load them up. And we don't really need to stray too far from the bridge, so I will take everything back to the bridge. We'll walk in with the goddamn Santa Claus.
You're back. And you brought toys.
Yeah.
One of those toys, never mind.
I will.
Well, it was less a weapon. More recreational.
Is that what you're for? You're on your own.
Now?
Preferably not. And I'm gonna
Catch the SMG. I don't use guns, toss it back.
You get two.
Put those at your side. Let's get back to work on operations.
And armor sets for everybody as you need. Take what you need. I mean, essentially, I looked at this and went, yep, war. Here's a big cart full of stuff.
I'll be right back.
Take your time. As soon as he's off the bridge. You came back with weapons.
Yep.
You're a legend. Definitely a legend.
Yep.
Are you proficient with gunnery?
Yep. Kind of. It's been a few years.
Okay, why don't you have a seat? And we'll all do this together.
Yeah.
Where did you want me?
You know what? Why don't you go ahead and take a seat at the operations console?
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. I swear, sweetheart, I'm trying fast.
Alright. Red alert.
Ah! 13.
Shields up.
Going back bridge.
Point defense online.
Right?
Whoa!
18.
Grab shields.
I'm ready to hang this, darling.
I just turned on the one right when it went off.
Sort of see three people huddled around a console playing with buttons.
No. He's at gunnery, she's at operations. I'm in command.
Everything right?
Have a seat, Mr. Engineer.
I think we're testing stuff out, but yeah.
Yeah, we start having my fun.
I'm gonna go check.
Operations, bank right, 20 degrees.
You think right? Degree, a little different than maneuvering a scalpel.
Yes, it is.
You overshoot it by a couple of degrees.
Let's get a course correction. Gunnery. Put a train on the astrological body. Bring up a floating rock.
7.
You ask for the fire.
Yeah.
So you get a lock right as she overcorrects.
Shit!
Let's try that again. Course heading 873, mark 12.
Or is it the gear change?
You're putting on basically a basic armor. So 5 minutes, maybe tops.
I was on a roll there. Now I'm literally rolling.
You move the way he asked you to. Your scope just a little bit off. Not quite as bad this time. 14. You overcorrect expecting the correction.
This thing is big, I'm sorry.
Starboard shift 10 degrees. Take our vertical axis down 5%. We'll wait for the ship to stabilize.
7.
You threw big words. She was a Trojan.
Do what now?
I'm gonna assess. Well, sorry. 17. That's a stats plus 2 to your roll.
Oh. Together.
That's up to the end.
What did you have last time?
7.
9. With his help, you seem to understand why he's asking. I'll let you roll again. With plus
14.
Mr. Gallus, fire when ready. 12.
You fire, and it grazes. Does not appear that carding's been calibrated. You get to look on that. Targeting systems need adjustment. You're walking back in.
Good, you're here. Asher, see if you can get my targeting sensors recalibrated.
So you have 3 firing patterns you're off of, and they were so widely dispersed that you can't zero it in. You need, at a minimum, 3 light groupings. Making it up.
That's what we want there. That's a 3. 22, so 10.
He hands you a set of 3 groupings that give a very definite pattern for progression. Shoot again.
Yeah. That's 7.
Remember those buttons you don't remember what they do?
Yeah.
Yeah. You still don't.
Okay.
Operations, adjust our pitch 5 degrees. Yawn. Adjust offset 2. Gun rank, get a lock.
Finish me is 3 for workstation. We got 1 for being the Legion, and then it's the minus 2 for everything being in range, right? So yeah.
You fire, and it's dead on. Perfect.
I got a 12, you get a bonus.
I rolled a 6.
It was dead on.
Right after you fire, you go into a spin.
I'm going to move to operations if that hurt it.
Yeah, move her out of her seat.
Yes. Well, I'm just going to say that with her.
Jesus, okay, I'm sorry, fuck.
12.
You get to spin stabilize.
Not bad, guys. Not bad. After 3 or 4 attempts, we can hit the enemy, and maybe they'll think we're just crazy enough not to attack.
Are the guns set to your license?
I had to forget it.
You did. You did real good.
You're doing real good.
That's the first time I've ever rolled a trip 6 the entire time I've been playing Frag.
His knees, it always comes when you
So I'm assuming we've got corrections on here. Having the gun stations calibrated and targeted and my firing patterns arranged. I'm gonna head up for Captain's quarters, actually. You know what I'm looking for. I'm gonna find it. Probably, and it'll be the last place I look. It'll be wherever the standard people can't get to it. This is the worst time for my mind. Okay. Take a look around.
Nothing has, as of yet, been locked down, so you open the door in response. You see a pretty, I wouldn't say basic layout. It is the captain's quarters. It is the best room on ship. And the captain had started to decorate with various pictures and shots and battles of Prometheus' past. You may roll a perception.
10.
Bookshelf, desk, bed, latrine. I mean, they didn't spare much expense, but they didn't. This wasn't the Nexus. Any captain's quarters.
Yeah.
On the bookshelf, you find
You take that.
it's the bottle of whiskey that Adriel presents to each of his captains. A pretty high dollar bottle at that.
So,
Probably more than you made in the last 10 years.
okay. So I will set that aside to take with me momentarily, but while I'm here, what I'll do is there terminal or anything, any kind of data pads or anything that